We're talking hormones and hormone health. We've been talking about hormones now for a couple of weeks, particularly as it regards skin health. Hormones are one of two major classes of active chemicals in the body, along with the enzymes. The main hormones, they call them the endocrine hormones, those travel through the blood. They're released from, the signals come from the brain, and then the signals go to the various glands in the body, and from the glands, hormones are produced and secreted into the blood, and they initiate chemistry at the cell level. The chemistry they initiate is enzyme chemistry, so hormones and enzymes are like complements. They're two sides of the same coin. They're the major biochemical actors in the body. The hormones initiate the action, and the enzymes are the action. The enzymes are the actors. They represent the chemistry of the body. The hormones are the initiators. The word hormone means to initiate or to arouse or to activate. Hormeo, from the Greek, to activate or to arouse. The hormone hits the cell, and an enzyme, some kind of enzyme reaction occurs. Hormones, cell, enzymes, in that order. The main control points for how well hormones work are going to be our thoughts and our emotions and our food. That is so cool to me as a healthcare professional. Nothing says liberation from the medical model more clearly than the idea that our hormones, which initiate all the actions in the body, are in our control largely by our thoughts and feelings and our foods. Our thoughts and our emotions and the foods we eat. This is such good news. This is our key to emancipation from the medical model. If hormones are the initiators and nothing happens in the body without their ignition or inspiration, and if we control these initiating factors with our mental and emotional natures and with our diet and the foods we eat, that means we got tremendous control over our bodies and over our health and over how the biochemistry in the body shows up. Now, you got two major classes of endocrine hormones. You got the water ones. Those are like insulin and thyroid hormone and adrenaline. And we'll probably talk about those a little bit later. But the most fascinating ones to me are the fatty hormones. Those are the steroid hormones. Those are the ones we've been talking about. The fatty hormones, the steroid hormones, these are your stress management hormones. These are your growth hormones. These are your repair hormones, your fertility hormones, your longevity hormones, or anti-aging hormones. The water hormones, those are more for quick reactions, quick activities. But the fatty hormones, the steroid hormones, those are for long-term survival. Now, the steroid hormones are your cholesterol hormones because they are essentially cholesterol. Now, we said this before, but it bears repeating. If you talk to people who know a little bit about nutrition, but not a lot about nutrition, and there's a lot of folks out there who know a little bit about nutrition, but don't really understand chemistry. In fact, unfortunately, a lot of clinical people, a lot of naturopaths, a lot of chiropractors, they understand the clinical side of things, but they don't necessarily know what the heck's going on inside the body from a chemistry perspective. This is my big problem with naturopathy. As much as I love my naturopath friends, when you focus on the clinical side rather than the biochemistry side, you don't have power. Your power comes from understanding the chemistry in the body. Always go to a biochemist if you want to understand health, not a clinical person. Naturopaths are certainly better than MDs, but they're still clinical. They're not working at the chemistry level. At the chemistry level, you got to understand, if you understand what's going on at the chemistry level, you'll be able to handle your body yourself. You won't need a naturopath. You won't need a pharmacist. You won't need me. You won't need a doctor. You could do it all yourself if you understand what's happening at the chemistry level. So steroid hormones is your growth and fertility hormones. They're all types of cholesterol. And they all require essential fatty acids for their production. This makes fats and cholesterol and essential fatty acids and fat intake and fat absorption unbelievably important when it comes to every single health challenge you can name. And when it comes to fat absorption, we largely talk about the digestive system, the liver and the intestines and the pancreas, even the stomach, even saliva has an impact on how well we process fats. This is the digestive link, or one of the major digestive links to all of health. This is why the digestive system is the first point on our triangle of disease. And working on digestive health is the first thing you need to work on no matter what your health challenge is. I'm going to be doing a video on tinnitus later on today. By the way, if you want to get our Critical Health News videos, send an email to info@criticalhealthnews.com. I just put in the subject heading that you want to be on our video list and our newsletter list. We talked about macular degeneration on one of our videos. Macular degeneration is a classic sign of malabsorption of fats at the digestive system level. So when I'm talking to somebody about macular degeneration, the first thing I'm going to say is work on your liver and your bile and your intestines and your pancreas and make sure you're absorbing fats. That's not what your eye doctor is going to tell you. That isn't even what your naturopath is going to tell you, because they're working clinically. They're working at the symptom level. They're busy trying to take care of the signs of disease, not the causes of disease. Now, of course, sometimes you need to take care of the symptoms. I understand this. But if you really want reversal, which is our birthright, the body can reverse, the body can remit, the body can heal itself. If we really want healing, we got to understand the causes. And more often than not, it's going to be in the digestive system, and more often than not, it's going to be in the fatty part of the digestive system. That means using probiotics. Please do not underestimate the incredible importance between good bacteria, the microbiome, and fat absorption, and steroid processing, steroid hormone processing, and cholesterol processing. And given the fact that most of us got messed up gut bacteria from birth onwards, even inside the womb onwards, it makes perfect sense that we would be confronted with an epidemic of biblical proportions when it comes to chronic degenerative disease. So probiotics, work on intestinal health. Use glutamine powder. Use glucosamine supplements. Use zinc supplements. All of these are important for helping strengthen and stabilizing the intestinal system, the intestines. Probiotics, of course, those go without saying. Also, apple cider vinegar. Lots of ways you can focus on digestive health when it comes to fat absorption and help the body reverse chronic degenerative disease. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. We'll be back right after this.
This is Dan Pilla. Do you owe the IRS money you can't pay? Are tax debts crippling you? I've defended people from the IRS for over 30 years. I've helped thousands, and I can help you too. I wrote the book on IRS settlement, and I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a hopeless case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX to finally get free of IRS debt. With the IRS's new programs, there's never been a better time to solve your problem. Call 800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NO-TAX, or my website, danpilla.com.
There's a man named Dr. Joel Wallach who is anything but your typical doctor, both a veterinarian and naturopathic physician. Doc asks, why does the United States spend more money on healthcare by far and still rank 50th in health and longevity worldwide? He believes that people should empower themselves with a basic understanding of nutrition, take charge of their health, and attain optimal health and longevity through nutrition, not by toxic prescription drugs that lead to side effects and more toxic prescription drugs. Doc Wallach's message is resonating with an increasing number of Americans who are waking up to all the big government, big pharma, and big insurance manipulation of our healthcare system. I'm George Norrie, and I like what Doc Wallach is saying and doing to enlighten people about healthcare. Visit brightsideben.com and listen to Doc Wallach's Deadly Recipes lecture. It makes a lot of sense, and I urge you to join the Brightside Ben team. Go to brightsideben.com. That's brightsideben.com.
We use mobile devices right against our bodies every day, but growing scientific evidence has emerged showing serious health risks associated with exposure to EMF radiation emitted from these devices. The solution is Defender Shield, the most effective mobile radiation shielding ever developed. Defender Shield blocks virtually 100% of EMF radiation from cell phones, tablets, and laptops, and starts at just $64.99. Buy now at DefenderShield.com. For 10% off, use promo code GCN. DefenderShield.com, the worldwide leader in mobile radiation shielding.
My dad was 59 when he collapsed from a heart attack late last year. Just this past August was when we spread his ashes on the St. Croix River. I loved my dad, but boy was he stubborn. He hadn't been to the doctor in over 25 years. His excuse? He simply couldn't afford it. He wasn't a rich man by any means. At less than $107 per month, libertyoncall.org would have been the perfect alternative for my father. Don't wait. Go to libertyoncall.org right now, for not just your sake, but for the sake of your loved ones. Again, that's libertyoncall.org.
My name is Bill Bonner, and I'm the president of the largest private news and research network in the world. And I paid for this airtime because I have an important message to the American people. There's a change coming that the government isn't telling you about. This change has deep implications for life in America, from where you shop to the doctors you visit and the family you want to protect. Look, I've made predictions like this before. Thing is, I was right then too. A few years ago, I warned that housing prices would collapse. They did. Before that, I warned that .com companies would crash. They did. Those who listened had a chance to save themselves. But this has nothing to do with the stock market. This will affect us all.
You can watch the video for free right now by going to disappearingdollar.com. Again, that's disappearingdollar.com.
My dad was 59 when he collapsed from a heart attack late last year. Just this past August was when we spread his ashes on the St. Croix River. I loved my dad, but boy was he stubborn. He hadn't been to the doctor in over 25 years. His excuse? He simply couldn't afford it. He wasn't a rich man by any means. At less than $107 per month, libertyoncall.org would have been the perfect alternative for my father. Don't wait. Go to libertyoncall.org right now, for not just your sake, but for the sake of your loved ones. Again, that's libertyoncall.org.
Okay, so we're talking fats and fatty hormones. We say on the program, one of the principal ideas of the bright side philosophy, what I call the bright side philosophy, is all disease is cell disease. You're not going to hear this from your doctor because doctors are not welcome at the level of a cell. The medical model is not welcome at the level of a cell. Cells will not accept doctoring. That's why doctors have to poison the cell or radiate the cell or surgically remove the cell. They can't ask the cell. They can't feed the cell. They can't breed the cell. They can't detoxify the cell. That's not what medicine is about. But it doesn't matter because we can do that all ourselves. Feeding with nutritional supplementation and making sure you're absorbing and digesting correctly. Detoxifying by eliminating or reducing sugar intake and eliminating toxicity, which ironically includes medicine. And of course, making sure we're respirating correctly and moving the body around. Moving the body is so important, especially the lymphatic system, which carries fats. The lymphatic system is like a circulatory system for fats. And lymphatic congestion is a major, major health crisis. Breast cancer, female reproductive cancers, gallbladder disease, even tinnitus is connected to issues with the lymphatic system. Yes, tinnitus. There's something called endolymph. There's a lymphatic system in the inner ear. Do you hear that from your doctor? Probably not. Do you hear that from your tinnitus specialist? Probably not. We'll be talking about that on my tinnitus video if you're interested in checking that out. So all disease is cell disease, but really all cell disease is cell membrane disease. This is the key. That little tiny sliver of oil, thousands of times thinner than a piece of notebook paper. That is the key to understanding how the disease process begins at the cell level, of course, and how to reverse it. And no surprise, the cell membrane is made up of essential fatty acids and cholesterol. Hopefully you guys are getting the idea that focusing on fats is the essential idea when it comes to health and wellness, anti-aging and longevity, and reversing chronic degenerative disease. And by the way, that includes cancer. Cancer is a cell membrane disease. Cancer involves a defective cell membrane. There's no such thing as a cancer cell with a healthy cell membrane. When the cell membrane starts to break down, hormones don't work correctly, the activity inside a cell changes, even the genetics of a cell, even the DNA itself is responsive to the membrane. That means if you want to reverse diseases that involve genetics, work on fats. Work on fat absorption. Make sure you're using your ultimate EFAs. Make sure you're using lipase, digestive enzymes, bile salts, lecithin. We'll talk about a whole bunch of nutritional supplements for the fat system of the body tomorrow on the bright side. All of this idea about the wonderful nature of fats, how good fats are, how important fats are, may come as a surprise to you if you're like me and you grew up in the 1960s and 1970s when we were bombarded with anti-fat propaganda and how important low-fat diets were and are. And there's still a lot of folks who believe low-fat is important. There's still a lot of doctors who will tell you, watch out for your fats. Low-fat is important. Yes, it's true that there are issues in the blood, fatty issues in the blood, things called diseases or health breakdowns, health challenges called dyslipidemia, which is a fancy way of saying messed up blood fats, but that's mostly sugar, not fats. Yes, sugar. If you really want to reverse fatty condition in the body, make sure you're eating fat, good fat, and make sure you're reducing your sugar. And make sure you're using supplements that help you process your fat. Somehow we got this idea that not eating fat is a health strategy. And today we know, if you follow biochemistry and you keep up with what's going on in the world of health, you know that's bad advice and bad science. And it's becoming more and more recognized, by the way. So there's two types of natural, healthful fats. I'm not talking about artificial fats. I'm not talking about trans fats or hydrogenated fats, which are mostly included in foods for shelf life and for processing and for taste. I'm talking about natural, healthy fats. You got two kinds. They're called unsaturated and they're called saturated. Now, if you're not a chemist, you might just say solid and liquid. Saturated fats tend to be solid. Unsaturated fats tend to be liquid. Solid fats are stable. Hydrogenated fats are fake solid fats. They're artificial solid fats. Trans fats, likewise, artificial solid fats. But natural solid fats, lard, butter, coconut oil, palm oil, these are actually quite healthy. They're very important. When I grew up in the 60s and the 70s, we were told saturated fat's bad for you. Stay away from butter. Stay away from lard. Stay away from saturated fat, coconut oil, and palm oil. Today we know saturated fat can actually be beneficial, especially, by the way, if you're dealing with brain health issues like Alzheimer's disease. There's a lot of literature that talks about the importance of saturated fat for brain health, including coconut oil, FYI. The unsaturated fats, now that's where you got to be a little bit careful. Saturated fats are stable. They're solid. They don't move. Unsaturated fats are unstable. They're liquid. And these you got to be a little bit careful with, especially two very, 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 very important unsaturated fats. They're called essential fats. They're like vitamins. The same way vitamins are essential and you can't live without them, these two fats, these two unsaturated fats, these two liquid fats are essential. They're like vitamins. And they're acidic. They have an acid nature. Thus the term essential fatty acids. These are like vitamins. They have the same essential nature as vitamins. Without vitamins, you can't live. Without these two fatty acids, you can't live. And your body cannot make them, which makes dietary intake of essential fatty acids vital. Now, I've been working with EFAs in the skincare world since the early 1980s, and it is amazing what essential fatty acids can do to improve skin conditions like eczema, psoriasis, dry skin, even accelerated aging. By the way, dry skin is not a moisturizer problem. I know if you've heard me on this program, you've been listening for a while on this program, you know that's my position on moisturizers, and I'm telling you this as somebody who's been formulating skincare products for 30 years. Dry skin is not a moisturizer problem. In fact, dry skin can be caused by moisturizers because moisturizers seal the surface of the skin, preventing the production of moisture factors. On the other hand, by using essential fatty acids, generous amounts of your ultimate EFAs, 3 in the morning, 3 in the afternoon, 3 at night, taking them with meals, you can do a heck of a lot more to truly reverse dry skin, to truly soften and hydrate and moisturize your skin from the inside out, without having to smear on a toxic moisturizer. Yes, toxic, because the preservative is toxic, the fragrance is toxic, and the emulsifier and the surfactant aren't doing you any good either. So you got two kinds of essential fatty acids. You got omega-3s and omega-6s, and there's a lot of controversy about how much we need and the proportions of each and the relationship of each one and to each other, and there's no consensus. People who study nutrition all have different opinions. There's no way of really knowing, and I don't really want to get into it too much because there's no way to really know. But it's best to make sure, in my opinion, that you're getting somewhere between 1:1 to 4:1 ratio of omega-6 to omega-3. And don't let anybody tell you that you get too much omega-6s and not enough omega-3s, because it's not true. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side. I'll tell you what I mean about that when we come back from our break, and we'll take your phone calls as well. 844-236-6010 is our number. We'll be back right after this. Got a letter from Dan, who says his 90-year-old father's been fighting macular degeneration for some time now. He's in good health. I love this part, and I hear this all the time. Okay, I'm not picking on Dan. I'll tell you what I mean here in a sec. Oh, actually, you know what? I was going to tell you about these omega-3s and omega-6s. We'll talk about that tomorrow. We'll talk about omega-3s and omega-6s tomorrow and the whole idea about the ratios and the proportions of each. And then we'll talk about a vitamin that you need, you absolutely must have in a supplemental form if you're going to take care of protecting your essential fatty acids. We'll do all that tomorrow on The Bright Side. So anyway, this guy, Dan, writes to me, his 90-year-old father's been fighting macular degeneration for some time now. And then he says, he's in generally good health, no serious medical problems after his heart bypass. Now, this is the kind of misunderstandings that we have about health. If you're fighting macular degeneration and you had a heart bypass, you're not in good health. And then the doctor, Dan, goes on to say the medical field is no help at this point. Well, of course it's no help at this point, because the medical field, and unfortunately Dan, and unfortunately most of us who deal with the medical model, think that we're healthy, but we just have macular degeneration, that our body's fine, but we just had a heart bypass. Now, I'm not ripping on Dan or anybody else, but I just want you to understand that if you think you're healthy, but you only have macular degeneration, or you think you're healthy, but you only have polycystic kidney disease. This is what a gal I talked to a couple months ago said to me. Her husband's healthy. He just has polycystic kidney disease. We're going to think that our only problem is the macula, or our only problem is the kidney, or our only problem is the heart, and it's not going to be possible to reverse. Because these issues that we call diseases are really symptoms. They're not diseases, and you cannot heal a symptom. You can only stop a symptom. A symptom is a signal, and it's a sign, and it cannot be reversed without changing what it's pointing to, without changing what is its cause. You can hide it, you can mask it, you can eliminate it with surgery, and this is what doctors do, but you cannot heal it unless you address the cause. The symptom is a sign. It is not the cause. This is the most important idea on all of health when it comes to reversing chronic degenerative disease. Rest assured, the body can reverse chronic degenerative disease, but it cannot do it if we think that the symptom is the problem. The symptom is a sign of the problem. And we have to make that distinction between the sign of the problem and the real problem. If you have macular degeneration, guaranteed 100% you're not processing your fats correctly. Not 99%, folks, 100%. If you have macular degeneration, you're not processing your fats correctly and you're not getting your fats. So for macular degeneration, focus on the fatty part, fat absorption system. That means all of the nutrients that we talked about earlier in the program, that we talk about every day on the program for improving fat absorption. If you have macular degeneration, make sure you're using lecithin after all your meals. If you have macular degeneration, make sure you're using your ultimate enzymes after all your meals. If you have macular degeneration, make sure you're using your probiotics, your biolumin nightly essence, and eating fermented foods and using apple cider vinegar. If you have macular degeneration, make sure you're using vitamin A with your enzymes and lecithin and bile salts and fat absorption aids, 20,000 IU a day. If you have macular degeneration, make sure you're using zinc and selenium supplements and sulfur supplements, all of which are important for eye health, and all of which are processed by the fatty part of the body. If you have macular degeneration, make sure you're eating lots of pigments, colors. That means reds and oranges and blues, the peels of fruits, and fruits and vegetables in general, phytonutrient pigments. Make sure you're using them with your the fatty part of your body. The fat absorption system, bile salts, lecithin, etc. If you have macular degeneration, make sure you're using vitamin E with all of your fat absorption nutrients, 400 international units a day. If you have macular degeneration, make sure you're using your essential fatty acids with all of your fat absorption supplements, lecithin, bile salts, etc. You notice I didn't even say anything about the eyes. It's all about the digestive system and fats and fatty vitamins, and then minerals, which are processed by the fatty component of the body. Okay, 844-236-6010. Let's head to the phones. Talk to Nicole in Washington, D.C. Good morning, Nicole. How you doing?
Good morning, Ben. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for calling. What's going on?
Question about pityriasis rosea.
Okay.
Sort of developed it maybe about 4 months ago.
Okay.
Small spot on my abdomen. I'm sure you're going to say that it's related to the digestive system.
You must have heard this program before.
I have, quite a bit.
What do you do in Washington? What, are you in the government? Do you work for the federal government?
I work in law enforcement, so it's definitely a stressful environment, let's say that.
Got it. Okay. So here's the deal. Any rash is a sign of activation of the body's defenses, the immune system. And typically it involves microinflammation as well. Inflammation, when we think about inflammation, we think of the big kind of inflammation, like a black eye or a broken leg. But microscopic inflammation that occurs at the level of a cell will keep cells from dividing correctly. And redness and rashes always mean some kind of immune and inflammatory involvement, because the bulk of your immune system is located in the digestive tract, Nicole. I hate to, I don't want to beat a dead horse here, because you know what I'm going to say. look for other issues that are that affect how the immune system is operating. In other words, foods, because most of your immune system is in the digestive system. So I almost guarantee that you probably know this. You sound like a smart gal. There's something percolating in the digestive system, and it probably has been going on for a while. Do you have any other skin issues, by the way? Psoriasis, rosacea, anything like that?
No, not necessarily. I have started to notice, though, I'm in my early 30s, that I'm just starting to notice skin things more now.
Got it.
Rashes that'll come and go.
How about digestive issues? Any history that way? That's really where you want to be focusing on. Can't take care of it. Hang on, let me just say this real quick. Once you see something on the skin, the cow has left the barn. It's over. That's the end of it. Your job is to prevent it from occurring again. There's nothing you can do. This is why dermatology is the dumbest part of all of medicine. Medicine in general doesn't help folks, ambulatory medicine. But dermatology is the dumbest. Why? Because by the time you see the rash, it's over. By the time you see the psoriasis or the lichen planus or the eczema, it's over. You got to take care of tomorrow's rash or eczema or lichen planus. Go ahead. I'm sorry. You were going to say something about your digestive system.
No, that's okay. I've started to experiment with a allergy restriction diet, and I've noticed that I am reacting to certain types of foods.
Perfect. Hang on a second, Nicole. We got to take a break. I'll give you some ideas when we come back. But it sounds like you know what's going on. It sounds like you're on the right track. So don't go away. We'll take a break and come back with Nicole in Washington. And you and your phone calls. 844-236-6010 is our number. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side. We'll be back right after this. We're back on The Bright Side. I'm Pharmacist Ben, talking to Nicole in Washington, D.C. Pityriasis, rosea. It's got little spots on the abdomen. Nicole, you there?
That is correct.
Okay. Are you noticing? You said you noticed that you had some kind of some foods were triggering allergic reactions. What were those allergic reactions, by the way?
I'm sensitive to FODMAPs, and I've noticed I'm sensitive to vegetable oils.
That's awesome.
Canola and soy.
Tell the listeners about FODMAPs.
I didn't know about FODMAPs until somebody suggested it to me, but my understanding is it's fructose malabsorption. So I've definitely had to cut back on things such as apples and just other types of foods, cutting back almonds. I was a big almond milk drinker, and I noticed that made a huge difference.
That's
coming
awesome.
off the bulletproof diet is really what when I noticed this.
That's Nicole. Do you understand how awesome what you're saying is? You have liberated yourself from the medical model. If you're like 99% of folks who don't listen to this program, you would have gone to the dermatologist, you would have gotten a steroid cream, you probably would have gotten an antibiotic, and the doctor would have said there's no cause for your rosea, for your skin condition, and you're just going to be on medication the rest of your life. This is what 99% of people are told when they go to the dermatologist. But Nicole, you have treated yourself, you've emancipated yourself from the medical model, and congratulations. I can't tell you how awesome that is. Not just for your skin issues, but for anything else that comes up. See how much power you have over your health challenges by keeping track and noting these kinds of the relationship between what you're eating and these kinds of symptoms. By the way, if you're in law enforcement, don't you have to take copious notes when you're doing some kind of case?
Oh, absolutely. You have to be very, very tuned into everything around you.
Observant, right? Isn't that the most important thing? I assume that you're like on the ground kind of thing, working with specific cases. Isn't the most important thing data collection and observing clues and noticing clues?
Absolutely, it is.
It's the same thing with the body. It's like a detective game. It's like a murder mystery. So anyway, continue on with what you're doing. Sounds like you're on the right track. In addition, if you're not using a good probiotic supplement, get on it right away, today. Don't waste a moment. The intestine.
I've been eating more fermented foods, but I will get on a supplement. I've been using a natural bristle brush and oregano oil to see if I could sort of help to clear it up. It hasn't spread, but it's
my
not
topical.
Skin tone is more medium. I'm sorry?
It's not a topical condition. You're seeing it topically. Okay. You're seeing it on top of the skin or on top of the body, but it's happening inside. So you're not going to be able to address it topically. You can use a steroid cream maybe and reduce some of the inflammation, but that's not going to take care of the problem. But you're on the right track here. Get on a good probiotic supplement. You know I love the Biolumin Nightly Essence. Personally, I'd be using 3 capsules in the morning, 3 capsules at night. Continue on the fermented foods and keep notice if you react to certain fermented foods. Don't necessarily think that all fermented foods are going to be beneficial for you. Sometimes people can react to fermented foods too. So continue paying attention that way. Make sure you're using your ultimate enzymes with all your meals, and then make sure you're using some kind of acid with all your meals. I like apple cider vinegar. And also stimulating bile salts can also help you, and using bile salts can also help you. So you can stimulate bile salts by using stomach bitters, they call them, or Swedish bitters, at the beginning of all your meals. You can get Swedish bitters in a drugstore or health food store, or you can use arugula or parsley or radishes or different kinds of bitter foods to start off your meals. Coating the digestive tract can also help you, using the Fucoid Z and Fucoidin and seaweed and aloe and noni. All of these have wonderful coating effects on the digestive tract, and that can help you, especially if you're having a bacterial issue. And then let's see, last but not least, cartilage-containing products can also be helpful. Glucosamine, which is a component of cartilage, but also bone soup, chicken soup made with the bones. I'm sure you've heard me talk about that before. Cartilage-containing products can also have a beneficial effect on the digestive tract. Last but not least, zinc, a couple of supplements that are important for skin and the digestive tract. Zinc is a go-to mineral for all skin conditions, whether it's acne or rosacea or eczema or psoriasis. And zinc is processed through the intestine, absorbed through the intestine. So if you have an intestinal problem, you may be running deficient in zinc, especially if you're not supplementing. Get on 50 milligrams of zinc picolinate a day. Selenium, likewise, is very relevant to skin health issues and also absorbed through the intestine. If you have intestinal problems, you may not be absorbing your selenium, so take your zinc and your selenium with your enzymes and with fatty foods, do them all together to maximize absorption. Likewise with vitamin A, also a fatty vitamin that's very important for skin health and obviously absorbed through the fatty system in the body. So with your enzymes, with your bile salts, with your lecithin, with your probiotics, make sure you're doing zinc, vitamin A, and also selenium supplements, 50 milligrams a day of zinc picolinate, 400 to 600 micrograms a day of selenium, and then 20,000 IU of vitamin A. And it sounds like you're doing a heck of a job there, Nicole. I'd love it if you could shoot me an email or call us and let us know what you found out, and if you took care of the rosea problem on your own. That would be great information if you want to share that.
Will do. Thank you so much, Ben.
Thank you. Take care. God bless. Have a beautiful day. I love when people take care of their own health. That's what this program is all about, you guys. By the way, our number is 844-236-6010. Got lines open for you. This program is an empowerment program. It's about making you powerful. It's about taking the power away from the medical model, which always wants to usurp power from us, and putting it back in our laps where it belongs. And no matter what our health challenge is, no matter what how degraded the body is, it's in its nature to reverse. The body never stops growing. It never stops repairing. What happens as we break down is the breakdown process supersedes the build-up process, and good health is nothing more than reversing that. Good health is nothing more than reversing the equation. Instead of going from net breakdown, we want to go to net build up. We want to be bodybuilders, and that means eliminating anything that's getting into the system that's disrupting the body's ability to heal. Usually that means usually that means foods and digestion, even something as simple as fasting. I'm going to be doing a video later today on tinnitus, and guess what? It turns out fasting is one of the best strategies you could do for tinnitus. Why? Because tinnitus, like macular degeneration, like skin conditions, like chronic degenerative diseases, involves inflammation, immunity, and that always means something percolating in the digestive system. So if you're dealing with any chronic degenerative health crisis, please understand it's in the body's nature to heal, but we've got to eliminate the toxicity that's getting in through the digestive tract, build up the digestive tract so that nutrients can be absorbed correctly, make sure you're stabilizing your blood sugar, and then making sure you're activating the body's relaxation, calming nervous system by using deep breathing techniques and mental and emotional relaxation strategies, and of course, moving the circulatory system, moving the blood, moving the lymphatic system is always going to play a key role in the reversal of degenerative disease. You notice, I didn't say anything about medicine. I didn't say anything about doctors. I didn't say anything about surgery or radiation or any of the other nasty tools of the modern medical model. These are all things we can do ourselves. By the way, one of the best all-time greatest relaxation supplements, if you're interested in activating the relaxation nervous system, is pregnenolone and also progesterone, and also, for that matter, DHEA. And we'll talk about that tomorrow as we continue talking hormone health on the bright side. All right, got about a minute to talk to Grace in Florida, if she's available. You there, Grace?
Yes, I am. Good morning.
Good morning to you. Got about a minute. What's going on?
I was calling regarding, I don't know if you've ever touched on the topics of amalgam fillings, what we should do if we have them.
Remove them carefully. Sometimes people have mercury removed and they'll get a big hit of mercury in the blood. So if you're going to, you want to address mercury fillings, have your fillings removed carefully, and don't have a bunch of removed all at the same time. And it's probably a good idea to use chelation strategies while you're having your mercury removed. That is, supplements that can magnetically attract or pull the mercury out of the system. Vitamin C is one of the all-time great anti-mercury supplements. I'd be doing super high doses of vitamin C as the mercury fillings are being removed. NAC is a super important chelating agent for mercury. So is selenium. Algae can be very helpful for chelating mercury. Zeolite clay and bentonite clay can also be helpful for chelating mercury. If you want to go all out, by the way, chelation therapy is awesome. Awesome for anti-aging. Pretty much everybody over the age of 60 would be smart to have regular chelation therapy done. Intravenous chelation therapy using something called EDTA. If you don't want to go that route, you can use the oral chelation supplements. And Grace, it's probably a really good idea for you if you're going to have your mercury fillings removed to use supplemental chelating agents as you're removing the mercury. And all the ones we just talked about, NAC, algae, vitamin C, selenium. There's a whole ton of them. Zeolite clay. There's a whole bunch of them. Hope that helps, Grace. Thank you so much for your call. Have a beautiful day. And that's all the time we have for today on The Bright Side. Thank you so much for listening. Tomorrow we'll continue talking about steroid hormones and the fatty system of the body. We'll talk about pregnenolone and some of these anti-stress hormones, and we'll continue talking about essential fatty acids and their proportion and their ratio. If you're interested in purchasing any of the longevity products, please head over to brightsideben.com or criticalhealthnews.com or pharmacistben.com. You can order products right off the website. And if you're interested in purchasing any of my Truth Treatment products, including our retinol 5% gel, head over to truthtreatments.com. All right, that's all the time we have for today. Have yourselves a spectacular, wonderful, awesome day. We'll talk to y'all later, folks. Bye for now.
This is a healthcare alert from the Pain Relief Hotline. If you, a family member, or a loved one suffers from knee, back, shoulder, or ankle pain and have Medicare as your primary insurance, we've got great news. You don't have to suffer any longer. You can immediately qualify for a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost to you by calling our 24/7 Pain Relief Hotline at 866-389-0620. Delivery is free and all paperwork is handled for you. If you are on Medicare and have knee, back, shoulder, or ankle pain, don't wait. You can qualify to immediately receive a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost by calling our 24/7 Pain Hotline now at 866-389-0620. Our representatives are standing by 24/7 to take your call and rush you your pain-relieving brace at little or no cost to you. Shipping is free and all paperwork is handled for you. Just call 866-389-0620. That's 866-389-0620. Again, 866-389-0620.
Sciatica, lower back pain, hip pain, poor posture. If you suffer from any of these problems, get ready to relax. Introducing an amazing product that's been in the market for over 25 years, the Sacro Wedgie. It was invented by a football coach using a common-sense osteopath technique. He created this device to help his athletes by isolating and supporting the sacrum, which is the keystone of our anatomy. This wedge-shaped bone is in the center of our hips, where a lot of pain starts. Simply relax 20 minutes daily on the amazingly simple Sacro Wedgie and let gravity do the work, helping muscles rebalance and start releasing nerves. Sit in the Sacro Wedgie at the computer or while traveling to help correct posture to finally help relieve those stubborn aches and pains for only $33.95. It's made in the USA, so click the family-owned website at sacrowedgie.com, spelled SACROWEDGY.com, or call 1-800-737-9295. That's 1-800-737-9295. Relax your back pain away with the Sacro Wedgie.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pulaski of the Pulaski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states. Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937.
Many scientific studies have linked inflammation in the human human body to several common health challenges suffered by Americans every day.
This idea about essential fatty acids getting turned into inflammatory or non-inflammatory chemicals. If you're dealing with an inflammatory issue like arthritis, and many diseases and many immune conditions have inflammatory components. If you have any inflammatory issues, essential fatty acids are maybe the most important nutritional supplements you could use. If you have fat absorption problems, you're going to want to take your EFAs with digestive enzymes, with fatty meals. It can also help improve your ability to process and absorb these super mega important nutritional compounds, essential fatty acids.
To keep inflammation at a minimum in your body, do what Ben Fuchs does and order Ultimate EFAs and Ultimate EFA Plus from Longevity by calling 866-735-2470. That's 866-735-2470. Or on the web at brightsideben.com. That's brightsideben.com. Order today.
Just recently, we've witnessed some of the most catastrophic disasters in history. Be sure to prepare yourself with great-tasting, high-quality, GMO-free food that has a 25-year shelf life. Of course, we're talking about the foods from SurvivalFoodAlliance.com. And don't forget, the human body needs up to 3 quarts of water every day to remain healthy and hydrated. So check out our water bricks at SurvivalFoodAlliance.com. Go to SurvivalFoodAlliance.com or call 877-223-1776.
Owe $10,000 or more to the IRS?
Get on board with the Tax Admiral. Don't pick on the IRS alone. I'll cut penalties and reduce your overall tax bill. Sometimes I can even get it zeroed out completely.
We're an A-rated company helping people clean up their mess with the IRS.
If you owe $10,000 or more, then call the Tax Admiral.
Call 800-287-7180. Again, that's 800-287-7180. 800-287-7180.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99 and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows. Pause and rewind live TV. Even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
If you're like me, you're concerned about the stock market and the economy. You're asking the questions, but it just doesn't seem that you're getting the right answers. Well, my friends at the Wealth Preservation Institute not only have the answers, but they've put together a free report, How to Survive the Upcoming Economic Collapse and Protect Your 401ks, IRA savings, and retirement income. Don't hesitate. This report's for free for a limited time by calling 888-772-2929. That's 888-772-2929. Take back your financial lives today.
Turn on the news and you'll hear stories of natural disasters, political unrest, and financial crisis. In times of uncertainty, how will you take care of your family's most basic needs? Food Insurance, America's most trusted provider of freeze-dried emergency food, has solutions that fit your family's needs and budget. Our meals are delicious, nutritious, and come with a guaranteed 25-year shelf life. For a limited time, we are sending a free freeze-dried meal to all listeners of this program. Go to foodinsurance.com and request your free meal today. That's foodinsurance.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Sam Nussbaum with the Anthem Foundation. Premature birth is the leading cause of death of babies and disabilities for children. That's why we support the March of Dimes to help mothers have full-term pregnancies and healthy babies. Join us in supporting cutting-edge research, treatment and outreach to help moms during their pregnancy and give every baby a healthy start in life. Learn how you can help at marchofdimes.org.
Did you know that select musical tones have the power to heal? By listening to 7 amazing songs that contain these tones, you can experience the power of music therapy.
I used to work in a pretty stressful atmosphere, but I started using the whole tones in the office, and I'm experiencing more focus, motivation, peace, and better relationships.
WholeTones99.com is a unique music therapy program featuring 7 secret ancient healing frequencies uncovered in the music of King David. Now you too can unlock the healing secrets of the Bible table as we are offering a free sample of this music so that you can discover their power to heal, relieve stress, and break negative cycles.
I use the tones to calm my 5, 3, and 2-year-olds to stop the fighting, and it works.
Now you can experience the healing music therapy in the comfort of your own home or office. Visit WholeTones99.com and get a free song. Visit WHOLETones99.com today for your free song. That's WholeTones99.com. WholeTones99.com.
I am a 47-year-old female and had a heart attack in 2005. This is Alice from New Jersey. I still get angina, even with 4 stents. I was taking nitro 2 or 3 times a week. The very first day after taking heart and body extract, the chest pain was gone. Now I don't wear a nitro patch.
Learn the secrets of an effective, natural, 100% organic nutritional supplement for a healthy heart and circulation at hbextract.com.
You wouldn't go camping in the Everglades without bug spray, would you? It's in our nature to protect ourselves, especially when protection is simple and affordable. That's why IDStronghold.com has been providing affordable RFID protection for over 10 years. ID Stronghold wallets protect you from electronic pickpockets who pass near you with scanners and steal the information on the RFID chips in your credit and debit cards. IDStronghold.com is a technology company, so we understand how to best protect you against intrusive radio waves. ID Stronghold wallets are designed to block RFID signals, opened or closed, no matter where in the wallet you put your cards. Most other RFID wallets on the market were designed with only fashion in mind and do not shield properly, if at all. When you're shopping for your next wallet, be sure to get the protection you deserve by going to idstronghold.com. Because getting anything else is like using latex gloves as oven mitts. Ouch.
Are your Google search results killing you? Unflattering content in blogs, news articles, online reviews, social media, or other sources can jeopardize your reputation, your business, and your livelihood. Let Reputation.com help. Our patented technology will make the truth about you more visible while pushing down unwanted negative content. Improve your Google search results. Call Reputation.com at 1-800-831-0771 for a free consultation. That's 800-831-0771.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Ricky LeBlanc, admitted in Mass only. Sokolov Law, LLC, Chestnut Hill, Mass. Ken Levin, responsible attorney in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Greg Hobby, New Jersey. The choice of lawyer is an important decision that should not be based solely upon advertisements. While this firm maintains joint responsibility, most cases of this type are referred to other attorneys for principal responsibility. If you know what mesothelioma is, you or someone you love has likely been impacted by this devastating cancer. You may be entitled to compensation. Call Sokolov Law today, 1-800-218-HELP. The only known cause of mesothelioma is asbestos exposure. Thousands of hardworking men and women, including many U.S. veterans and industrial workers, have been diagnosed with mesothelioma because manufacturers knew the dangers but put profits ahead of people. An estimated $30 billion in court-ordered trusts has been set aside to pay money to asbestos victims. If you or a loved one has been diagnosed with mesothelioma, call now. You may be entitled to receive compensation without ever going to court or filing a lawsuit. Call for a free legal consultation at 1-800-218-HELP. That's 1-800-218-HELP.